Why would I even bother? I bet you have said that to yourself many times before starting anything even remotely creative. I'm not skinny enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, my life is not interesting enough, and I have nothing of value to say. Oh, you want to write a book? No one is gonna read it. Oh, you want to start a YouTube channel? What are you, 12? Want to record a podcast? That's cute. Not even your mom wants to listen to you talk for 2 hours. That's my inner monologue 24 hours a day, and if you're watching this video, I think that this might be you too. Oh, you want to vlog your life? Your house is not aesthetic enough, and you drive a 2018 Subaru Forester. Who is going to care about that? You have to be able to tell that I'm being sarcastic right now because I drive a 2018 Subaru Forester and they're the best cars I've ever had in my life. Subaru, if you're watching, please sponsor this video. Regardless of who you are, if you're a creative child growing up, you feel disillusioned, beat down, exhausted, depressed, and overwhelmed now as an adult. You, very much like me, probably work a regular 9 to 5 at a desk job, and the very small amount of time off you have on weekends, you would like to spend doing something creative. Something that nourishes your heart, soul, the child within you, but your brain simply won't let you. As one of my favorite songwriters would say, we all live our lives in the confines of fear. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of disappointment. And to be completely honest, I have talked myself out of recording this exact video 350 different times. At this point, I'm just making it just to prove to myself that I can. Yes, I would love to help you and tell you with full confidence that all these tips and tricks work and that they're bulletproof. The caveat here is, I don't know it yet. But I guess if you're watching this video right now, it means that I got out of my own ass and forced myself to do what I said I was going to do. Here are the small pieces of advice that I collected throughout the years on the internet that helped me kickstart my YouTube channel and post daily on Instagram for the past 3.5 years. I honestly believe you can use them for pretty much anything creative you're trying to do, from writing a book to starting a podcast to posting on TikTok. The world is your oyster. What's odd about you is exactly what's interesting. I lost count the amount of times someone on the internet stopped their day to tell me, you have to pick a niche. What's your niche? Yes, that's kind of true. You gotta pick some topics that you like to talk about. The more you incorporate everything that makes you tick, everything that you love, everything that makes you who you are, your interests, your sense of humor, the things you're passionate about, the more your style will emerge and people will get to know you faster. For example, I am an avid reader and I started on the Bookstagram, book talk, book blogger sphere, and I fucking hate book talk and Bookstagram. Just kidding, that's a little harsh. I have a hard time with internet-built communities because they always start as something fun and interesting and end up with people charging for access to their personality or for people selling you courses to try to recreate their success, competition, petty gossip, no matter what niche you're in. It's okay to question all of that and still try to create your own little corner of the internet if you feel compelled to. Your contradictions are an asset. I spent countless of hours analyzing what other people were doing. What is everyone watching right now? What do people care about the most? What kind of videos are getting the most clicks? How can I make myself useful? Oh my god, I just spend so much time beating my head against the wall trying to find a way to be useful to people. I spent so much time doing research that eventually the algorithm started pushing, use this one algorithm hack to get yourself to 100,000 followers in your first year. And that's not really what I'm looking for. I don't want to be an influencer. I don't want to sell you stuff. I want to have fun. I want to feel like I'm a child again, that I can spend hours locked in my room doing something creative, doing something that makes me happy. I want to find people who like the same things that I do. Growing up as someone who was a very lonely child with no siblings or cousins around, with very specific interests, the internet was the one thing that was missing. So amusing myself really became one of my biggest goals. How could I put something together that I myself would watch, but that I would also enjoy the process of making? Just allow yourself to mess up. I record and we record the same sentence over and over again until it comes out the way that I want to. Why? Tell me why ain't nothing but... This is gonna get a copyright strike for 10 seconds of Backstreet Boys. Okay, hold on. Let's do this again now. Why would I even bother? But never in my life I thought about just leaving mistakes in a video because of course that's what editing is for. But I also think this advice applies to my insecurities as well. I am super insecure about my body. So I thought to myself, maybe I should try to film myself a little bit more. I spent a lot of time making content on Instagram with filters on my face, and I grew unaccustomed to the way that I look, which is insane. I mean, I'm always gonna try to make myself feel good and look good, put a good outfit on, put some makeup on, and try to make myself look presentable. I even vacuumed my room. You can't see it, but I vacuumed just for you. But I feel like the important message here is exposing yourself to things that are out of your control, that are out of your comfort zone, because nothing good comes out of your comfort zone. One of my favorite quotes ever is, ships are always safe on shore, but that's not why we make ships. And doing things that are out of your comfort zone is one of the many ways that can help you figure out how your art or your creative process or anything else you want to do really can transform you as a person. The process is what changes you, not the result. You know, I'm so into this that I keep moving closer and closer to the camera when it's not really my goal, and I apologize. I don't even notice until I've done it. Sound as much like yourself as possible. Imagine that you are talking to someone you like. You want to make them laugh, but you also want them to understand you. You also want them to know the raw version of who you are, because if every time you have to hang out with that person, you have to create a new persona or put up a persona or pretend to be something that you're not, the whole thing is going to be the most exhausting thing ever, and you're going to grow to resent it. You are here to find people who like you, to find people you like, to find people who have things in common with you, and not to be like everyone else, and not to do what everyone else is doing. But don't be lazy. You have to put your thoughts in order regardless. This entire video, I wrote it down. I'm not following a script per se, but I wrote down all my thoughts, points that I wanted to make, and in what order I wanted to make them. Read, take notes, question yourself, try to make sure to find your why. Why is this a message you want to share? Why is this important to you? And once you're done doing all of that, trust yourself in your brain that you studied the message enough. Just sit in front of a camera or in front of whatever, the computer if you're writing a book, or a podcast studio if you're recording a podcast, and trust yourself in your brain that you have absorbed all the information you need to absorb, and just let it come out naturally. Don't aim too high. You're a beginner. I'm a beginner. We all started as beginners, and we're going to improve with time. And I know that you hear that consistency is one of the most important things on the internet, and that is the one piece of advice that I know to be true, because I posted every single day on Instagram for the past 3.5 or something years, and I saw the fruits of my labor with time. I am my biggest hater. I'm a big perfectionist. I re-record things multiple times, and most of the time they don't even see the light of day, because I think that everything that I do is not worthy of attention, that no one would want to waste their time watching, and that I shouldn't waste my time creating. And that makes it really hard for me to finish things. It's hard to have like a God complex and hate yourself at the same time, you know? Like, I know I have fun and interesting things to share and say, and I know that I love the process of creating, but my brain the entire time will tell me, why would you waste your time? Who cares? You're embarrassing yourself. But posting one video a month is better than not posting. Writing one page a week is better than not writing. Putting a little bit of effort, 15 minutes a week, if that's all the time that you can afford, then do that. It's better than not doing anything. We're all gonna die anyways. Give yourself deadlines. Take your creative calling as seriously as you do your day job. I know it's not easy, but making time for the thing is more important than the thing itself. Taking yourself and your passion seriously is something that no one else can do for you. We will die waiting from validation from our family, from our friends, from our partners. You don't need that. You shouldn't expect that. You have to find your why. And sometimes your why can be as simple as, because I want to show myself that I'm capable, because I want to prove to myself that I can do it. I want to have fun and learn a new skill and test myself and push myself out of my comfort zone. I want to feel like I can be proud of myself and the things that I make without needing anyone else's validation for that. I want to feel exactly the way I did when I was little and I finished drawing something on a paper and it was probably just stick figures, and I would still pick up that piece of paper and run to my mom to show it off to her because I was so proud of how amazing it looked. Where did that childlike excitement go? Do you know? That's what I'm trying to bring back. And when you allow yourself to do creative things, that's when you're opening that door. One of the most important things I learned in my lifetime: finish things. Finish him. When you feel like something sucked, don't redo it. Just record something new and publish it again. Just rewrite another page and keep going. Don't edit yourself. Don't go back. Don't stop. Don't keep recreating, because you're never going to allow yourself to finish. Don't delete videos. Don't rewrite stuff. I work as a freelance developmental editor, and I work with authors all the time. And this is something I always tell every writer I work with. You have to stop editing yourself. You have to allow yourself to finish something before you move on to the next thing. You learn between finished projects and not between unfinished ones. What if people get bored and they don't like me, or don't want to watch me, or don't want to read my book, book or don't want to listen to my podcast. Well, that's effing great. You are just filtering out the people who are not meant for you. I would rather have a platform of 200 people who give a fuck about me than to have a platform of 350,000 followers who don't even know who I am or who would not care to follow me to another platform or who just don't like me. Not everyone is going to like you, and that's fine. There are already countless of places where you can't be yourself. This doesn't have to be another one of those. The law of the land in whatever creative project you're working on is that everything that you think it's funny. Those who find the texture of your mind boring or offensive can just close the tab. They can close your book. They can press pause on your podcast. It is really good and healthy for your creative mind to have a place where being exactly who you are is the normal. And it's a service to other people too. You would be surprised by how many people are laughably similar to you. And you can build that. You can make that. You can create that bridge of connection with people on the internet, with people through your podcast, with people through your book, whatever. And last but not least, you can't give up until you try something for at least 100 times. Write 100, well, I would say write 100 books, but that's kind of insane. Write 100 pages before you decide that writing isn't for you. Publish 100 videos before you decide that YouTube is not something that you should be wasting your time on. Record 100 podcast episodes before you decide that, maybe I should move on to something else. So this is officially my first video. Well, my first solo video anyways, because I have recorded videos with other people because sometimes I feel less stupid recording with other people than recording by myself because for all intents and purposes, I'm just talking into the lens of a camera, and it's a really big lens, by the way. Really good looking. I love it. Anyways, but I want to record at least 100 videos about the things that I love, the things that I'm interested in, the things that I'm passionate about, and the things that I love yapping about before I talk myself out of this channel and decide it's not the way that I should be spending my time. Feel free to berate me in the comments if you don't see me posting regularly to hit that mark. It's gonna take a while, but time is gonna pass regardless. My goal is to talk about all the things that I love. I love hiking. I love playing video games. I love reading so much. I read a lot, and it's one of my favorite things to do, to review books. You can find me on Instagram or on my Bookstagram. You can find me on Goodreads. I'm actually one of the top 100 best reviewers in the United States, and it's something I'm proud of. I like talking about life. I like giving people advice. And like I said, I don't want to be an influencer. I don't want to sell you crap. I don't want to do anything other than find people who like the same things that I do. And if you would like to spend time with me, and if you watch this video all the way to the end, thank you so much. I would love to get to know you. Post some comments down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.